Hey, I'm Noelle.
And I'm Marisa, but Noelle calls me Pete.
See.
And welcome back to
Take It Home.
Woo! Yeah.
Our podcast. It is a podcast.
It is.
It is. It is. It is.
It is. It's been a while since we've recorded. I mean, for you guys, it's just the next week. But we didn't record last week, so we're doubling up on episodes this week. It's been a little bit of a hectic time.
Yeah, it has been a very hectic time. It's the end of the school year.
Right.
We're not in
Which
school,
affects me.
but hey, we both are nannies.
That's true.
But like
But my schedule doesn't change.
Yeah. But we thought we'd lighten it up because I feel like our past few episodes have been a little more like serious and heavy.
Yeah.
And so we were like, what's something we can talk about? And I feel like we both have such like weird, unhinged things. Not all unhinged, but like some unhinged, some just weird, some stupid mistakes or dumb things we've done throughout our 20s. Mainly our early to mid 20s, of course. And we thought we'd just share some of those with you today for fun.
Yeah, for sure. I'm hoping that I'll like think of more things as this episode goes on.
We'll bounce off of each other.
For sure.
Is that like, does that make sense? We'll
Yeah.
bounce off of each other?
Yeah, it sounds weird, but yeah.
It sounds weird. Why is Sydney Sweeney coming to my brain when I say that? Bouncing.
Because things be bouncing.
Okay, that was weird. Okay.
Anyway.
I can't stop thinking of the most recent episode of Euphoria.
That we watched
I think it was
night.
episode 5. If you know, you know. Sippy of the Weeky. Sippy of the Weeky. I still can't get over that theme song.
Anyway. Our sip of the week is chili fig lemonade. Random, yeah. We wanted to kind of ball on a budget today and try to come up with something that we already had. And I had lemon juice and I had this chili fig spread. And I've seen people make like cocktails or like lemonades with jam, where you kind of take like some preserves and then you just shake it up with some whatever else. And I've actually done that, I think. Like, I made, like, a margarita with jam once, I think. But
that would be good.
we should try this again with, like, strawberry and something. Like, that would be good. But, so, I had this chili fig spread. And we already tasted this, I'm not going to lie to you guys, because I was worried that it was going to suck so bad that I was like, we need to taste this and then make adjustments. And good thing we did.
Good thing we did.
We did make some adjustments. So all this is chili fig spread. We put it in a mason jar with ice, some lemon juice, and water. And then we did some agave to sweeten it up and cream of coconut too.
A little bit of cream of coconut, but we kind of ran out of it. So
that's why we added the agave, because we thought it needed to be sweeter. So, and some flaky salt. Basically, just measure all the things to your heart's desire. Like, if you want it more sweet, you add more sweetener. If you want it more tart, you add more lemon.
And we wanted it a little sweeter.
Yeah.
It was too tart at
because
first.
it was like, yeah, pure lemon juice. But you could also like get lemonade from the store and just do that too. But
that is true.
Anyway, then we shook it up in a mason jar and here we are.
Shook.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wow.
I like it. Honestly tastes like a cocktail.
It does.
It tastes like it's a mocktail because it has that spice. Mm-hmm. It's like a spicy marg. Anyway, that's our sip. It's pretty good.
It is pretty good. It's gotten a lot better. The more I sip it, the more I'm like,
I agree. You know what I think would make it better? Maybe not for you, but if you topped it off with a little seltzer or something fizzy.
And that's what the people love nowadays.
I just love a fizz.
Most people do, but I'm not a fizzy girl.
And that's okay.
I'm a still girl.
We can't, we're all different. So
we are.
Smile of the week, smile of the week. Smile of the week, smile of the week.
Why did that feel aggressive?
It's like, it was. It's kind of different every time. You never know what energies you're going to get.
I still think that we should do an actual jingle for
I do
it and
too.
put it in.
I just need to have I need the time.
Yeah.
But that would be
like
fun.
to take like 3 months off of everything in my life.
And just create or like rest. Yeah.
I feel like I need a month of okay, but here's the thing. Anytime I start resting, that's when I start doing creative stuff.
Yeah.
And doing the things I actually want to do. So maybe I just need to not work anymore, and then I become so creative because I have so much time to do so, and then it becomes my new job. But unfortunately, things don't always work that way, and some of us need to work a bunch of part-time jobs in the meantime.
It's like such a fragile thing, I think, because even though I feel like for the most part I've found balance in my life, it's so fragile. Like 1 week of working a little extra hours or skipping my workout, you know, like one little thing tips off and it kind of everything spills.
You know, when Sarah was recently talking about like her definition of burnout and how she was saying, well, sometimes I have stressful weeks at work, but I think real burnout is when people say, oh, I feel like I need a vacation, I feel like I need a break, I feel that low-key a lot. Am I just actually severely burnt out? And then when I'm having good weeks and stuff, I'm having a good week, but I'm still experiencing some burnout. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like, I think that means that there's something fundamentally off with your life.
I mean, no, I agree.
Like, you know,
it just feels exhausting.
That's something that Sarah was saying too. Like her whole point of saying people shouldn't want to escape their lives so badly is like that means that something is not sustainable, you know, in your life.
I often feel like I want to escape. This sounds okay. This episode is supposed to be funny and it's suddenly turning really depressing. Like I feel like it's not always that bad. I do have great jobs. I don't know what it is. I think I think I'm really lacking a creative artistic fulfillment, which is ironic because I do still audition and we have the podcast, but I just miss the feeling at Elon and in high school and whatever, just taking classes and having so much time to create and do things. And now it feels like I'm still doing that, but at the end of the day, after having to do other jobs, I'm tired from all of these things, working all of these jobs and still not making enough to barely pay rent. Even, oh my God, James Charles' video was crazy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, I was seeing stuff about it, and then when I actually watched it, it was so much worse than I expected.
It was terrible. I showed Rodney on the way here, and he had to stop it because he was like, I can't watch this. Pretty much, for those of you who don't know, James Charles, the big famous influencer who is so insanely successful and wealthy.
I don't know what I looked on his TikTok today. He has 40 million followers. I don't know how many he has on Instagram.
I'm looking up James Charles' net worth.
He became very famous right before TikTok took off from YouTube. So he's kind of one of those like OG YouTubers. So
he has an estimated net worth approximately of 22 million. His wealth is derived from a successful career as a beauty influencer, YouTuber, and entrepreneur, despite facing various controversies. But the point is, obviously, I think people who make a lot of money slay. Good. I can't wait until you Google my name and it says net worth 22 million. But the point is, this TikTok he made was about how a Spirit Airlines employee who was just fired, obviously, because for those of you who, in case you didn't know, Spirit Airlines fully shut down and there are 17,000 people out of work, which is awful and horrible. And he made this video being like, yeah, so a Spirit Airlines employee messaged me and said, James, I just lost my job and I'm going through a hard time with Spirit Airlines. Here's my GoFundMe. And pretty much just made this whole video about like, people lose their jobs every day. You think I'm supposed to feel bad for you? what, like, just this.
He called her lazy and said that the amount of time it took you to message me, you could have been, working on your resume and applying to other jobs. It was unhinged.
It was insane. Also,
for someone coming from someone that like rich and privileged and
someone who started off their career as a beauty influencer. He didn't have to work. I mean, at least not that I know of. I don't think James Charles has ever worked like a service industry job. Maybe he has. I don't know. But either way, it's like not all of us have $22 million. And just because you don't.
Also,
oh my God.
It was so
awful.
weird because it doesn't mean you have to give that person money, but why are you so mad about it? What you get so many messages probably. Like, why are you coming on the internet? Like, he had to record that. He had to look at it. He had to write a caption. He had to post it.
You know, it's similar to living in New York City. I feel like people are asking for money on the streets every single day. Sometimes when I have a few dollars to spare, I will spare them. There are other days when I don't have cash in my wallet. There are some days when I'm not even able to pay my rent on time, so it's like I can't give dollars to everyone when I can't even pay my own rent. Obviously, he's in a completely different situation, and so is the Spirit Airlines employee. But just thinking about that and thinking about how I still feel bad when there's somebody that I can't give $1 to, or even if I'm frustrated because I feel like everybody's asking me for money on one day when I'm like, I don't even have my own money, like, and I get how being someone so successful and so rich, you can feel like people are maybe using you sometimes. I mean, I'm not in that position, but I could see a world in which people do feel that way.
He also was like, she wasn't even a fan. Like, I don't know. It was just such a weird video.
It was so weird.
It was actually crazy. Like, how do you post that and not know how insensitive you're being, and then also how much people are going to cancel you because of that? Like,
and he still has 40 million followers. I'm like, but let's bring it down to 0.
He could have just fucking ignored the message. Like, why are you so mad, dude?
That's the thing. Even
I don't know.
Like that was just an insane thing to post. And the fact that he was like, people lose jobs all the time. Like, people need to. It's literally like Kim Kardashian being like, people need to get off their ass and work. Like, people are working hard. Do you know how much rejection you and I face on a daily basis? The fuck? I mean, granted, we still have other jobs, but a Spirit employee just had a job like a week ago,
yeah,
and now they suddenly don't. Whatever. There's no harm in asking people for things. It's just like, it was so distasteful. It was so rude. It just kind of showed everything that's wrong with the world. It's like, you don't have to respond. You can just say like, hey, I'm so sorry. I can't donate money at this time.
Or just ignore it.
Like,
I don't get it.
Posting this whole thing made it was just awful. I feel like, hello? Do you think, oh my God, there's just such a gap. Mm-hmm. I'm like, so do you think that everybody who just doesn't have a job is lazy and not doing shit? It was just so, okay, like, you live in your own little world, buddy. It was just, yeah. Oh my God, it was, that was so shitty,
really, really insane.
Anyways,
I don't know how we started talking about
smile
that.
Of the week. I don't know, but I've been thinking about that a lot today because it pissed me off. Because I was literally going from one part-time job to another, and like, as we do most days, and I'm just like, man, I'm out here working hard and I still don't have $22 million. Like, I don't know. I feel like I sound
not even close
negative, but it's just, and I hope that does happen to me one day. And I hope that when it does happen, I don't lose sight of who I am, and I still want to help others around me and never have that perception of the world.
Yeah.
I don't see myself having that because I have had my fair share of struggles, and I do think that I'm an empath, so I see people around me and feel for their situations even if I'm not in them. And I just think James Charles lives in his own world. But I just hope that when I am successful and have a lot of money, that I do really good things with it.
And you will.
I will. Okay, anyways, smile of the week, smile of the week, smile of the week, smile of the week. Should I go?
Yeah, sure.
Well, this past weekend was Mother's Day, so I actually went to Greensboro, my hometown in North Carolina, for a few days and had really quality family time. I hadn't been home since Christmas. My sister went too. And it was just really nice to have quality time. And I also made homemade biscuits for the first time, and that was really fun and cool. Yeah.
Was it hard?
Not really, actually, but my mom does have one of those mixers that just does the mixing for you. Yeah. But we made sweet potato biscuits. I don't like sweet potatoes, but they were still good because you couldn't really taste this. I don't know.
I mean, but also it's like a biscuit. It's not a potato.
Exactly.
So I feel like you wouldn't mind a sweet biscuit.
Yeah. It barely tasted like sweet potato.
So good. I love biscuits.
But yeah, I also love biscuits. We should go to Pies and Thighs soon.
Yeah. You know what I want to make?
What?
Meredith Hayden, Wishbone Kitchen. She had, I don't know if it's in her cookbook or not, but she did have this recipe either on her TikTok or her website of like some blueberry biscuit thing that she made.
Wait, I feel like I remember that.
Oh, it just always looked so good.
We should make them.
It was like a mix between a biscuit and something, like a muffin. It was like a muffin biscuit, blueberry muffin biscuit
I kind of lightly remember this.
But yeah, it sounds amazing. I love biscuit. I love a sweet biscuit or like a savory biscuit.
Me too.
Biscuit.
Oh, freak. Now I want a biscuit with bacon, egg, and cheese.
I used to get Biscuitville at Elon, like for breakfast all the time, like at least 3 times a week.
And Biscuitville is so much better at the fast food restaurant.
I bet. I don't know if I ever went to a Biscuitville outside of. We had like a Biscuitville on campus.
Do you want to go to Greensboro sometime?
Honestly, I've been wanting to go to North Carolina. I would love to go to Greensboro.
Okay.
Anyways,
what was your smile of the week?
My smile. Yesterday, I had a little adventure with a friend, Michaela Cohen. Yeah, she gets so many shout outs on this podcast.
She really does.
But we just met after I got off of work and went to like a couple vintage stores.
Of course.
But we ended up at this really, really cute wine bar. And I'm not going to say the name of it because something bad happened, but then it turns into a smile again. So we were sitting there. It's really cute. We're enjoying our vibe. I have a glass of wine and we're sitting next to the wall and we look over and there is a baby cockroach crawling like right next to our faces. And for some, maybe that wouldn't be a big deal, especially because it was like a smaller one. But I was like, I have like a horrible, I'm not going to sit next to a cockroach, okay, at a restaurant. Like, I hate them so much. I have like a phobia of them. So immediately she tells the waitress and she's like, we're just going to move to like another table. Long story short, they comped my wine because of that.
Yay!
And took it off the bill. So I got a free glass of wine because there was a cockroach.
Ew, but yay, free wine.
That was good. We shared a gnocchi too.
Oh, yum.
And yeah, they took my wine off the bill. All right, let's get into our topic.
Unhinged. Well, not all unhinged, but...
Yeah, I don't know if mine are really unhinged or they're just like genuine mistakes I made. But I want to... I'll hopefully think of more. You go first because you did your smile first.
So, one night when I was drunk at like 5 a.m, I was with my friend Kathleen and I really didn't want to pay for an Uber home. And this like delivery pastry truck was driving by and I asked the driver if I could have a ride home. And so he was like, sure. So me and Kathleen fully went into the back of a delivery truck. So scary, so sketchy. And we went just a few stops. He was like,
a few stops.
He was like, I have to like deliver these things, and I was like, which direction are you heading? And he said, that way, whatever, towards my apartment. So I was like, sure. So I stayed in there for a couple of deliveries, and then I got kind of scared and was like, this is how people die. And then I was like, bad. Okay, we're getting closer by, and we got out. And he didn't kidnap us, but I did get a ride home in the back of a delivery truck.
I knew you were going to talk about that one. That's like the first thing I think of when I think about like drunk things.
Yeah, that was very stupid.
Oh my God.
But also like, I don't know, I just had a feeling nothing bad would happen. And it didn't.
Oh, that's so silly.
So that's my number one.
this isn't that funny or anything, but mistake, and let me preface this with all my mistakes. Do I regret them? No, because I learned from them. But will I not be doing these things again? Yes. Number one, going on a trip that you can technically pay for, but then you come back and you can't pay your bills.
Yeah. I've done that too many times.
Yeah, that's something that I did. I don't regret it because obviously I don't regret that trip. It was like a great time. I didn't go into like debt for it, but I came back and then I was like, I can't pay rent. And nothing happened. I just like paid it late and I ended up catching up and then being pretty good after that. But that's just something I'm not going to do again because I don't want to put myself in that situation. Yeah, like maybe I will go on a trip and then accept that I'm not going to have as much money.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to not be able to like pay my bills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like be like, gotta like pay rent. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do it.
I know. I've made the same mistake multiple times too, where I save up money, and so I have money to spend while I'm on the trip, but then I like don't have money to pay my rent also.
Yeah. So
yeah.
If I do a big trip in the near future or future in general, I will have to make sure that I'm like able to do the trip and also pay my bills.
Yeah, that is a good one. It is. Okay, well, this is another unhinged thing I did. I took an Uber when I was like a couple years ago, and I had been drinking out with friends, and I was by myself, just like in the Uber with the Uber driver, and he was playing really good music, and he literally got to my apartment to drop me off, and I was like, oh, like the music was good, and he was like, do you want me to keep driving you around and blast music? And I was like, yeah. And so the drive like technically ended on the app, but I stayed in the car. And he drove around, just me and an Uber driver. He went on the highway. I rolled the windows down. He was like blasting music, and it was just the two of us. And then he got me home safely. Another time where I could have, something really bad could have happened to me, and it just didn't. And I'm so grateful.
There's a theme here.
I will say, well, people are going to listen to this and be like, Noelle, so woo-woo of you. But I feel like I really can tell when bad things are going to happen versus when they're just not.
Okay. Next for me is do not continue a casual relationship, situationship when there are feelings involved, just because you don't want to let the person out of your life and you know that they can't commit to you. Don't do it.
Yeah.
It will not end well.
Yeah.
And it's really not a good situation to be in. That is like one of the biggest mistakes, I suppose, or just like things that I've learned from in my 20s, where I will be carrying forward a new approach. If someone can't commit to you and there are feelings involved, do not keep them around. Do not let them keep you around. Like, just don't do it. Like, how do you think that's going to end? You know, even if they do come around one day, like, do you really want that to be your story?
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
We've both experienced things like this.
Yeah. And, okay, going off of that, this will be my next one. Don't expect people to change for you.
That's true.
People are who they are. I have experienced so many situations, I feel like, where I really was just hoping someone would change. Frank Moot, who is just a recurring character on the podcast. I remember when we dated for a couple of months and then we ended things, and I remember I was the one who initiated us hanging out again, because I thought, I didn't actually think this, but I was like, I can be casual, whatever. Like, I don't need anything serious. So I restarted things, and in the back of my head, I knew it the whole time. I was thinking, if we just keep hanging out casually, he'll have to fall in love with me, and then we'll have to be together. After he had already told me that he couldn't be in a relationship and couldn't have anything serious, and I knew that's what I wanted. And you know what? He still has not changed, ladies and gentlemen. Well, actually, maybe he has now, but I wouldn't know because I don't talk to him. But yeah, the last time we talked, he tried to booty call me, and that just wasn't it. So he never ever changed, and I spent maybe 3 years off and on hoping that he would.
Yeah, I think like people can change, but you shouldn't expect them to, and you should kind of
and don't wait for them to.
Don't wait for them to, and you just kind of have to believe people when they tell you like what they're capable of or show you.
Yeah.
And it's hard for people like us who want to see the best in everyone, and you see the potential. Tale as old as time. You see the potential, but you can't build anything real off of potential. It's partially a fantasy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't do it. Ugh, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Do you want to say one, or was that yours?
I guess that was mine.
Okay. Another mistake where looking back, I was like, how did I do that? Not owning a proper winter coat. I went through multiple... I mean, I guess I did own one. I owned one that I didn't want to wear because it wasn't like as cute as my like cute coats. Mm-hmm. But I went through multiple winters where I was wearing like fall jacket coats.
Yeah. And you can't do that here.
And I was like, and then it wasn't until I got like an actually warm coat where I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much better. Maybe the winters weren't as bad, but like this past winter was horrible. And like, you need a warm coat, y'all.
Mm-hmm. You really do.
That's something, I feel like that's something you learn kind of as you get older too. Like I remember being in like high school, never wanting to wear a coat. Like,
dude,
even in college, like, I don't know, like you just don't want it to like ruin. We would go out to bars and shit, like go out literally in like tank tops and like not wear a coat because you didn't want it to like ruin your outfit, or you didn't want to carry it around to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I actually did that not too long ago on New Year's here, like like 2 or 3 years ago. It was the one where we ran into Frank Moot that New Year's. Because I remember we ended up standing outside in line at Union Pool to try to get in, and I didn't wear a coat because I didn't want to like carry it around. But like most places also have coat check. Like just wear a coat, like be warm, because
it's not worth it to be really cold and uncomfortable. Plus, like, then you go inside and then you can take your jacket off and people can see the outfit.
Yeah.
But when you're outside in the cold, it's not worth it.
My logic is like, I don't want to carry around my jacket.
And I get that.
But then it just, the sacrifice is worth it.
Yeah. Wait, I just had one. Oh. Don't let your boss walk all over you. I don't know how to say this. I mean, if you listen to our Survival Jobs episode, I've talked about my evil past boss so much, who I just let walk all over me for a couple of years. I think I didn't know what I deserved at the time, but just know that it's probably not worth it, especially if it's a job that you don't really care about. Like, if it's not helping your career, whatever, quit, find something new. Easier said than done. Maybe you're in a different situation where you can't quit. But if you feel like you're not being compensated what you're worth, being treated what you're worth, I was an on-call babysitter and was not being paid to be on call, and I would just let her be like, can you come in early? And I'd be like, yes, like 2 hours early.
And then she'd sometimes cancel, like, oh, I don't need you to come in tomorrow, and then wouldn't pay you.
And then wouldn't pay me, and I'd be like, well, I would have found another job if I knew in advance you didn't need me. Yeah, things like that. If you're in a situation like that, quit, find something else. I will never do that again. I was miserable, and that is something I don't necessarily regret because I don't have regrets. I feel like I learned from those past mistakes, but that is just something that's just something I learned.
It's something you learn,
I guess. Don't let shitty bosses walk all over you. Don't let them.
Going off of the topic of work, I had a job at one point for a short period of time, only a few months, but I was like paying my own money. This job required me to travel from place to place, and I was paying a fucking MTA fare every time. That's crazy. I would never do that now. Basically, I had a teaching job where I had to and I don't know what the standard is, like, but there's no way, like, I was working for a very small business, but I would go to people's houses, like apartments, and give their kids lessons in their apartment, which is very common in New York. But the company I was working for, like, I wasn't doing it solo on my own. I was working through a company, and like I would have like 4 or 5 different lessons a day, and then I would be paying out of my pocket to like, and they were in like weird, like deep Brooklyn places where I couldn't take a train, so I'd have to take the bus. And then sometimes the bus, I remember Ubering sometimes to get to the lesson, because otherwise I would miss the whole thing because the bus was not reliable enough to get me from point A to point B. So not only was I paying the fare every single time I had to go to the next lesson, but then sometimes I Ubered, and it wasn't something I could like expense. It was not something I would get reimbursed for,
and it should have been.
Like, that's actually crazy.
That is crazy,
because I don't think I was making enough money to like have that be worth it, you know. Like maybe in some scenarios, if you're
making a lot of
like
money,
getting paid a lot per lesson,
like how much were you getting paid per lesson, and how much would you spend on an Uber to get to that lesson?
The rate was $60 an hour.
Okay.
But like a lot of my lessons were 30 minutes or 45 minutes. So like, yeah, that's a good hourly rate. But like when I'm only having like 3 or 4 lessons a day, like it's not a lot of money. Like I think I would make like $300 a week from her or from this job, which was like something, but it was inconsistent too. Cause then sometimes when the kids canceled or I didn't have the lesson, I would not get paid for said lesson.
Ugh, that's not fair.
So that's why I very soon, like I think I only worked there for like a few months, but I ended up quitting. And you know, nothing against the experience itself of teaching. Like I love teaching. And I did it for a number of years at different places, like back in Michigan too. Yeah, just don't do anything like that, I guess. Just know like in your job situations that you're getting enough out of it in comparison to what you're putting in. Like, yeah. Took me a while to like figure that one out.
That was kind of a crazy time for you. I know. Okay, this next one is another funny thing that I don't regret. It's just another stupid drunk thing that Pete and I did together. And I'm sure you all know, but we literally went into a halal truck.
Oh, yeah.
And started working. Like, I don't know. This was just another silly thing. That's something I would still do. But we
went in twice, 2 separate occasions.
And they remembered us. It was the same one. We literally went into like a halal food truck, and I remember sticking my head out the window being like, who wants halal?
You were like, halal, get your halal.
Oh my God.
And then they were like, it was so weird. They were showing us pictures of their kids, and we were like, oh wow.
Yeah, we were just in this truck.
And they were showing us how to make like chicken over rice.
They're like teaching us how to cook. It was so funny. We just drunkenly did that. Oh my God, that was so funny. So that was not crazy. Something I regret. That was just a silly thing, and something I do recommend doing.
Okay. My next one is using too much skincare, or just like using skincare in a way that it's just like putting a bunch of shit on your face that you don't know what you're doing. Like, I think that sometimes you could have the mindset of, oh, all of the skincare, like it's got to be good for me. But sometimes certain products don't react well together. And then sometimes too much new stuff at once is not good. And I've never had like super sensitive skin at all. Like I've never had a skin reaction up until this moment. I may or may not insert pictures because it's actually crazy what happened to my face.
It was scary.
But I just had like all this nice skincare. It was like really nice, expensive brands that a lot of people use. But I think that I was just like using
so much of it.
Introducing too many new things at once. Simple is fine when it comes to skincare for me. And I've learned that now. I keep it super simple. Yeah, I had this horrible face reaction, and it was almost like a chemical burn. And it happened to me 3 separate times. And the first time, I had no idea what it was. I was like, this can't be from skincare, whatever. If I thought it was in the dead of winter, super cold winter, and I thought it was like a wind burn on my face because it was more mild the first time. It was just like redness and dryness on my cheeks. And then after it went away, it happened again, and I couldn't narrow it down to what product it was. And then the third time it happened was actually the worst. And unfortunately, I woke up the morning of an audition, a Broadway audition for one of my like dream shows. And it was only an initial audition. It wasn't a callback or anything, but my eyes were like swollen. Actually, I think it was just one eye. Swollen, almost shut.
Yeah.
My entire face was red. Like, this wasn't just like a little, it wasn't like I was breaking out from this stuff. It was like something was burning my skin. And it happened 3 times because I didn't know. At first, I thought it was the weather, and then I thought it was something else. Like, I didn't know that it was this specific like product that was literally burning my face. Long story short, I stopped using everything I was using at that time. So like I still don't really know exactly what caused it.
And you went to the dermatologist, right?
Yeah, so I went to the dermatologist. Mind you, that day I could not even leave the house. I looked scary.
No, like you actually did.
And I like
like
really,
you couldn't have gone to your audition.
No, I wanted to go so bad, and I got Benadryl thinking that it was gonna take down the puffiness of my eye, and maybe I could still go to the audition and like not wear makeup. So I got like Benadryl extra strength, and then I had a super like scary, almost panic attack because it made me feel high. Like, do you remember that?
Yes.
I was like, I feel really scary. Like the Benadryl literally made me feel like I could feel it sedating me, and I hated that feeling. It literally felt like if you have ever participated in marijuana and you get anxious when you're on it and you feel like you're gonna die and like have a panic attack. I felt that from the Benadryl. It was just a horrible time. And each time this happened, it would take like weeks for my skin to like go back to normal. So all that to say, after experiencing that, I did go to the dermatologist. I was supposed to get a patch test to see like if I was allergic to something.
Yeah.
But then like the day of my appointment, they were like, we're out of our patch tests. And then like I never rescheduled. I just didn't. But then I started using like very simple skincare ingredients, and I just don't really mess with that so much anymore.
And you shouldn't.
Yeah. Some of the like trendy brands that I'm really just like skeptical, and I always do a patch test now. Like if I do have a new product, I will patch test it on like my jaw to make sure it doesn't give me a burn before I actually put it on my full face.
That's smart that you do a patch test.
Yeah.
I don't do that for things, and I probably should.
But you don't really use new skincare, do you?
No. Well, ironically, I'm going to try something tonight that I've never used. It's some serum that's supposed to, like, reduce, like, all this shit serum does. Like, reduce chance of getting wrinkles and smooth, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I think it's a nice one, so I'm going to try it and see.
It's just so weird because I've never had that happen, and I haven't had it happen since. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what it was.
That is weird.
If it was an allergy, if it was just a really bad product, I don't know. But it literally burned my fucking skin off. It was really, really bad. But yeah, the dermatologist gave me like creams and medications for it and stuff too. And that helped. That actually did help it go away.
That was weird.
It was so
Do you think
bad.
you'll insert a picture of your face?
I'm like, I don't know if I want it to be on the internet, but I need people to know.
It's funny because you're so pretty, so people will see it and like it's not what you really look like.
I want to like find it. Do you have another one?
Oh, well, senior year of college, I rapped Nicki Minaj's verse of Bottoms Up for a Broadway casting director. Did you know that? Because
I don't know if I knew that. It sounds vaguely familiar.
I had rapping skills on my special skills, which I don't anymore, but I honestly am really good at rapping. I feel like I know all of the lyrics to a lot of rap songs, and I'm a good rapper. But so I had it on my special skills, and the casting director, after I sang my song, was like, it says on here you have rapping skills, like, can you rap for me? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, could I get that Tron? Could I get that Remy? Could I get that Coke? Could I get that Henny? Could I get that? And I like did all of the bottoms up.
Do you think they were just like trying to fuck with you?
Like, I don't know, but I did it. And then
oh my gosh,
after she was just like, okay, wow, was not expecting that.
That is
and I was
funny.
like, yep. And then I never got called in for anything from her, so she might have just thought it was really weird. But that's fine. So yeah, that's something interesting that happened.
I can't believe I didn't put this on my list, but it's one of the biggest, worst things that has happened to me in my 20s, but it was much longer ago, so I kind of forgot about this. It was in college. I took a trip to the mountains in Asheville with some of my friends for like our fall break, and one of our friends brought this mysterious homemade edible cookie, and something I will never do again. And this is actually something I do regret. I mean, whatever. It happened and it's over, but I don't know if there's much to learn from this other than I will never eat a homemade edible again. Because when you think about it, like, you don't know how much you're consuming.
You don't.
And thinking about, I have participated in like a gummy in recent years, and my tolerance is very low. Like, I have like, and I really don't do this. I haven't done this in a long time, but like, we kind of went through a phase.
We did. We were getting high a lot.
Because it was kind of fun to just like be cozy.
I want to get high again soon.
I can only handle like literally 2 milligrams. Like, anything, we get like 5 milligram ones. We have to like cut them in half. We had this little bag in our fridge for the longest time of like cut in half. Little tiny specks,
like the tiniest
edibles.
Specks, and they would get us so high.
I would get so high. But anyway, my tolerance is so low. So thinking about that, and then the fact that I ate this homemade edible, who knows how many milligrams I consumed? But I had the worst night of my life. I was vibing, and then suddenly I'm sitting there with my friends, and I start to get freaked out because, one, I can feel my own heartbeat. Like, it's like gonna come out of my chest. And then I'm like listening to my friends talk to each other, and I couldn't comprehend what they were saying. And I had to like muster up the courage to try to form words. And I was like, to my friends, I was like, I am scared because I can't understand what you guys are saying. And then my other friend, so there were 4 of us, and 2 of them were fine, and me and my other friend was kind of also having a bit of a panic attack, but like not as bad as me. And I was like, I can't understand what you guys are talking. Like, I can't comprehend your words. I can't follow this conversation. And then my heart started beating so fast that I just thought I was going to die. Like, I legitimately was like, call an ambulance. And my friends like didn't, thank God. But I spent the whole night hyperventilating, rocking back and forth. That is not an exaggeration. My friend told me like the next day, she was like, I had just never, like, you didn't look like you. She was like, I had never seen your face so like relaxed and like just scared. Aww, and I was like crying, Pete. Hyperventilating. I ended up throwing up too.
Yeah.
And then what's crazy is the next day I felt like I had a massive hangover, but I didn't consume like an ounce of alcohol, and I actually threw up the next day.
Oh my God.
Like, who knows what I ate, you know?
Jeez.
Like, what if it was like 1,000 milligrams?
Oh my God.
But I really thought I was gonna die, and it kind of altered me for like a couple weeks after that. I was like,
I feel like a couple of months.
I was like, something happened to me. Like, that was like the scariest thing ever.
Well, honestly, going off of yours, I will say mine. Pete, you were there the time that I had a really bad panic attack that also scarred me for a long time. Pete and I and our friend Mason went to a music festival in Vegas called Life is Beautiful, which was so fun, except I decided to take an edible, but it wasn't kicking in fast enough. So I just kept taking bites and bites because I don't know, that was my summer of like taking edibles, and I was just feeling like, okay, like this doesn't make me anxious anymore. Like, I can do this at concerts and stuff and it'll be fun. And so I had like a little bit, and then I like 10 minutes later I was like, oh, I don't feel anything. So I had another small bite. 5 minutes later, I don't feel anything. So I have another small bite. Point is, I keep taking small bites every couple of minutes, which is not how you should do that, you guys.
Because it takes a while to kick in sometimes.
Yeah, and then it all kicked in pretty much at once. I actually had 2 waves. So it, like, all kicked in, and I was very high, but, like, in a way that was kind of fun for, like, a few minutes. But then, like, I had this entire other wave. We were literally at a Tame Impala concert. I couldn't listen to Tame Impala for, like, a year.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, I was thinking about it yesterday because I was listening to...
I didn't know that part.
Dracula, the new song. They said, and then shut up, Jenny, just get in the car. On the subway. And I thought about it after. I was like, oh, I listened to Tame Impala without even thinking about the fact that I was listening to Tame Impala. Whatever. But I just remember it hitting me so fast. And I turned around to Pete and Mason and I just go, I need medical attention. And they were like, what? It was just a panic attack.
I need to go to the medical tent.
It was actually one of the scariest.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it is
like, it's terrifying.
God. I also thought I was gonna die. And I remember, like, just, like, walking towards the medical tent so fast, and I kept just saying, like, I need medical attention. I need medical attention.
Why that choice of words?
I don't know. Like, I don't know why I kept saying I need medical attention. But I don't even know, because I think my heart was just beating so fast. It was just so scary. It's like,
yeah.
Oh my God. It was so scary.
I think to this day, my experience is one of the worst things I mean, maybe I'm lucky to say that, but, like, it just was, like, actually so scary. And it's like, funny when I look back on it and think about it, because it's like, oh, you were just so high that you're freaking out. But, like, when you're in that moment, it is terrifying.
It is. Because, I mean, it's real. It feels so real.
Yeah. And I for that reason, I'm very cautious about my intake, because I'm scared of I've had, like, a couple moments, like 2 that I can think of since then. First of all, I did not, like, take an edible or smoke. I hate smoking, by the way, so usually it's an edible for me.
Same. We're both singers.
I didn't do that for years after that happened to me. It took me a long time to even, like, because I would sometimes enjoy it, but it's, like, such a fine line of when it becomes too much and that I'm feeling anxious. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I more in the recent years introduced it back in, kind of, am able to, like, I know how much I can, like, handle, and the environment I need to be in also, like, I prefer to kind of be at home watching TV
and
eating snacks. Like, that's so fun, and I don't really have to talk to anyone. If I'm in, like, a social situation, that's when I will start to get anxious, unless I'm, like, also drinking, because then it kind of helps me, like, it evens out even though they're both, like...
But here's the thing. When we drink and take edibles, yeah, we're not anxious, but we're literally insane people.
I know.
Pete and I went through a phase where we kept getting, like, crossed.
Well, here's why. I will say, because this was right kind of in the moment of my 20s where I decided that I didn't like drinking so much. Mm-hmm. But I would like to go out and have a silly, goofy time and feel a little, like, funny and happy. But I didn't want to have, like, 4 drinks to get there. So I would like to have, like, a drink or 2 and then take an edible, and then I would feel the way I wanted to feel.
Yeah.
And that's why I had that phase. Now I'm just like, I just won't drink as much. But yeah, you continue. We did have that phase.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. But we were so crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, Pete and I would just do the weird, like, we would act so weird.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an example.
Like, we came home, we found this video on your phone of, we were singing Let Me See You Shake Your Tail Feather by the Cheetah Girls, and that they made for the Stuart Little movie. And it was just a weird video.
Like, I don't want to talk about it more. I'm like, I don't know how to explain the video further without just it being weird.
Also, at Claire's birthday that one time.
Yeah. And we saw a bunch of forks, and I was like,
I thought that was baklava.
Like, how did I think forks were baklava? I don't know. Fun times, funny times.
But
But
I
crazy.
Control my intake now. That's the moral of the story.
I don't think I've been high in, like, a year.
Honestly, same.
Maybe we should.
Yeah.
Should we, like,
get snacks?
I remember snacks and
there was one night we, like, planned to get Sonic
Yeah.
Get high.
And get high. That
And
was
watch
so
something,
fun.
and we were like so excited and happy about it.
It was awesome. And I remember we put Maldon on our tater tots from Sonic.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That was the best. I guess in tandem with this, because we're talking about going out, just maybe not a mistake, whatever. I learned from this and I changed my ways. Spending too much money on alcohol.
Yeah.
I think that's actually something that has helped me financially now versus my earlier 20s. Like, I just would spend so much money. We would go out way more. And then if you think about it, every drink is like $20.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I will say, for a long time, I was the queen of getting free drinks, though.
That is true.
Like, I would go out, I would pregame and be like, I'm not going to buy a single drink tonight. And I wouldn't. And it's because I would wear hot outfits and go up to weird looking men and start talking to them at the bar. I'd like go up next to them at the bar and pretend like I was going to order. Be like, oh, like, I don't know what to get. And then they'd be like, well, like, you should get whatever. And then they'd buy me a drink, and then I would be like, oh, thank you, and then walk away. I fully was that person. And I would do that for my friends, too.
Yeah,
I remember
that was a thing.
And this one bartender at the Woods, when we used to go to the Woods a lot, would give me free shots. I, like, wouldn't pay for my drinks there. And I remember Matthew and Shane would, like, love it, too, because I would just be like, can I have, like, 4 drinks for me and my friends? And he would just give me drinks, and I'd be like, here you guys go. But when I was buying alcohol, I was spending too much money on it. But I also was like, I don't have money to be spending on this, so I would talk to, like, no offense, but some pretty strange guys in order to get free drinks. Some cute, though. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, I was just like, I'll talk to whoever if I get free alcohol, because I don't want to spend the money, and who cares? So I would do that a lot.
That's so funny.
And that was honestly a good way to get free drinks.
Yeah.
But you have to monitor them.
Yeah.
Make sure they're not... You have to be there watching the bartender pour it and grabbing it yourself. I'm not recommending you just let strangers hand you drinks.
No.
No.
Do you have any more? I have one more.
I guess just, like, I used to make out with a ton of people all the time. I hope my parents aren't listening to this one. Or, like, my aunt and uncle. I never said aunt before. I always say aunt. Like, that was weird. I feel like I used to make out with everyone. Always. Everyone being strangers. Also, like, my friends all the time. I feel like I was always making out with my friends. Especially, like, my gay male friends in college. Just, like... constantly making out.
Constantly? Really?
Yes, like at every single party, I feel like I was always making out with people. Like a lot. Maybe not
I don't remember that.
New York, but definitely at
college.
Elon. Yes. I was making out with people a lot. And that's, I don't really know what I have to say about that. It's not a regret necessarily, but I don't feel like I want to do that at all anymore. Which I'm glad about. I'm glad that I've changed and grown up a little, but now the thought of making out with a lot of my friends sounds gross and like something I don't want to do. But I think I just thought it was funny and like gave me an adrenaline rush. Like, ooh, let me make out with Andrew. Like, I don't know. Ew. No, not you. I'm like, Andrew is so handsome. I'm not saying ew at Andrew. It's just like...
But that doesn't mean you want to make out.
Yeah, I don't want to make out with him. And I think I just would make out with whoever. And that's so many germs, y'all. That's germy. And that's probably why I got mono.
Ew.
I got mono right after I came back from London. And it's definitely because I made out with, like, every single British person in London. Not really, but like a lot of them.
Every British person.
Every British, not even like a certain age or a certain every single British
That's
person.
A lot of people
in all of London. Yeah, every single one. Pete, what's your last one?
My last one. If you listen to our ghosting episode, you know that part of the story. But don't ever leave like your belongings at a man's house that you're seeing or dating. If you're not, like, actually together, because they may ghost you and you may never see that item again.
AKA Pete's earrings that she got from her grandma.
Yeah, like, they were my grandma's earrings. Anyway, don't leave your shit, especially if it means something to you, at a man's house. Obviously, I didn't mean to leave them there.
That sucks.
Be extra aware. Because
he didn't even have the decency to text you back and be like, here, yeah, I'm not interested, but I'll give you your earrings
Like,
back.
how fucked up do you have to be to, one, ghost someone that you dated for multiple months? Ghost.
I want to stalk him on Instagram. Is he private?
Yeah, he is, I think. But, and then when I say, hey, these earrings were my grandmother's and I would like them back, you can literally mail them to me. Nothing. Like, what did he do with the earring? Like, he had to have had the earrings. So
I'm like, did he throw them away? Did he give them to another girl?
Does he still have them?
What if he still has them? What
So
if he
weird.
texted you back tomorrow and was like, hey, sorry, I've been busy.
It's been 3 years. It was actually so funny. What was I going to say?
That you love me.
Oh, and if you didn't know the story of the whole ghosting, he did watch my story like 3 years later.
They always come back.
So,
Don't they?
anyway, that's all I've got. I'm sure there's other things.
Honestly, this will be a good part 2.
Yeah, we can do a part 2 in the future.
I'm sure there are other things. There are definitely things that I could share too that I'm like, that might be too much for a podcast.
Yeah.
I've done some pretty unhinged things in my life, but
True.
lots of good stories.
Well, the take home is that we all make mistakes, but you can learn from them,
You can.
and it's inevitable.
And sometimes it's fun to have funny, crazy, silly, weird stories.
Yeah, definitely.
It adds joy to your life. Well, yep.
Well, thanks for listening, you guys. Another week. You can follow us at Take It Home Pod on Instagram and TikTok. You can share this episode with someone who you think would like it. That would be awesome. And yeah, just like do all the things you can to support us. If you want to make sure you're subscribed and all that. We come out with a new episode every Thursday, so stay tuned.
Yay, and we love you.
And if you happen to be new here, welcome. And I don't know who's listening.
Welcome and enjoy the journey.
And we're happy you're here.
Exactly.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.